What's up, YouTube? Mark here from Next Level Tech. And today we're going to talk Bitcoin. I'm going to give it a few minutes. So come into the chat and say what's up. I'm having my morning coffee. I hope you guys are doing whatever you guys do to get your days going. Big shout out to Paper Plate. Throwing that $10 super chat, that super sticker. Appreciate it, man. Really do. Really having fun with these charts. And I know it's a really interesting time with the markets right now, but it's not all bad, guys. We're all good. We're all good. Yo, Canadian Bitcoiner Dino, what's good, guys? Awesome. I'm happy to see you guys here. I'm super happy to see you guys here. I'm going to do a little bit of Bitcoin charting and get into that. Just having my morning coffee. You guys are probably pretty busy with the markets today, too. Canadian Bitcoiners. I seen you had a wicked live stream yesterday. I popped in for a bit, but didn't get an opportunity to catch it. Paperheads. Now, I mean, everyone has their own game that they want to play. You got to know your ins and outs, right? You got to know your entry points and your exit points. But yeah, let me know if I'm coming in okay, if I'm sounding okay, guys. If the music's too loud, because the first time I'm trying to use music with StreamYard, it's weird. All right, just give me a moment while I get my stuff set up here. But we're going to talk the markets, and we're going to chart the markets. If you guys have been watching my recent videos that I've been putting out, I just pretty much taught myself how to do charts about a week ago, and I've been charting every day, and I've been having so much fun with it. But yeah, just give me one moment, guys. All right, so let's switch this over, and we're going to take a look at where we stand. All right, we're going to take a look at where we stand. The current price of Bitcoin in USD is $38,756. Are we in a bear market? Are we going down? Some great questions. We're going to look at a couple different things, including stock to flow, Bitcoin halving, resistance, support levels, falling wedges, and we can revisit things like the death cross. These are all hot keywords that you're going to see every single YouTube video coming out talking about. So just give me 1 second here, and I'm just getting everything set up in the background. All right, so let's get started. Hit that thumbs up as you guys come in. What's up, Flick Chick? Was I supposed to mail you one? Was I? I gave away a bunch last year. I don't remember if I was supposed to mail you one. All the ones that I was supposed to mail out, I did. I'm pretty sure because I don't really have any left. I might have a couple up there, but we'll see. We'll see. I have a kidney for sale if anyone's looking, so I can stat more sacks. That's what's up. You know, it's one of the most common questions is, do you think Bitcoin's going to go up from here? And I guess people don't know. So I guess you're new to it. I guess you're new to crypto, and maybe you bought at 60,000 US or 65,000 US. Maybe you did. It can be scary. I get it. It can be very, very scary. But I want to tell you a little bit about how I invest in Bitcoin. And a lot of you guys probably hear that Bitcoin is like digital gold. What does that mean? A lot of people say that Bitcoin is like digital gold. What does it mean? How do people invest in gold? People invest in gold by stacking it and holding it for long periods of time. Long periods of time. People don't trade gold like they trade stocks. I mean, some people might, but for the majority of people, they stack gold and they hold it for a long period of time. And I'll tell you, if you're in Bitcoin right now, if you're just getting in Bitcoin since 2020, or if you've bought Bitcoin since, 2021, you have to be holding that if you are a long-term holder until at least 2024. And there's a couple reasons for that. But I use Bitcoin as a hedge to inflation and as a savings account. And I'm not going to lie, I buy a couple dollars of Bitcoin every single day. Because that way I dollar cost average into a good position. I don't care if Bitcoin goes up or down, because I know in the long term, supply is going to run out for Bitcoin and it becomes a deflationary currency. The supply and the demand, the ratio is going to get more and more interesting as there's no more Bitcoins to be mined around 2040. Right? I know that sounds like a long time away, but that's how investments work. Right? There's a lot of small cap altcoins that people flip on the daily. On the daily, we flip these altcoins for some crazy percentages. But if you want to know how to invest in Bitcoin, you have to understand the trends. So we're down 9%, almost 10%. Ethereum, man, I got some stuff I want to say about Ethereum. Ethereum used to be one of my biggest holdings. And as a Bitcoin miner, I still mine Bitcoin every day. I get paid in Bitcoin every 4 to 5 days. But today, in today's day and age, do I think Ethereum is one of the best blockchains that has, smart contracts? I don't. And until things change with Ethereum, a lot of people are on the same boat. And that's why you see a lot of people slowly coming out of Ethereum and testing the waters in some other market caps. There's some really interesting things that are coming down the chain when you look at things like Binance, Cardano, Solana, Terra Luna has been on a crazy uptick. Polkadot's going to have a big, huge year. People are still asking me, should I invest in Dogecoin? I mean, I'm not a Dogecoin holder. That's completely up to you guys. I like to personally, my thing is, I like to personally hold layer one solutions when it comes to cryptocurrency. So what is layer one and what is a layer two solution when it comes to cryptocurrency? Layer ones typically have their own blockchain. Layer twos are typically built on another blockchain. And the simple answer when it comes to a layer one solution, layer one solutions or a crypto coin have three things that they're trying to accomplish. It's security, it's speed, and oh man, why am I drawing a blank on the third one now? I talked about this in a podcast recently, but there's three things. And according to the owner of Ethereum, layer one solutions can only be good at two of them. And the layer two is where it supplements that third one. If I can figure out what that third one is, I'll let you know during the stream. But that's basically how it goes. The projects that are built on top of a layer one solution supplements kind of where they're lacking. So, they could be really good at security, but their speed could be really low. So layer two solution, for instance, like Bitcoin has the Lightning Network. Lightning Network increases the speed, right? There are other things. Obviously, it's a lot more complex than that. There's other things that are being built on top of these platforms like DeFi and all kinds of crazy stuff, NFTs and whatever. But one of the big things that's a big push right now are two keywords. You have NFTs and smart contracts. Cardano has just released smart contracts, and there's a lot of projects being built on top of Cardano. There's a lot of partnerships being built in the background with some of these other coins that I think are going to be really big at building up some of these ecosystems. The big things that a lot of these other coins aside of Ethereum have on top of Ethereum right now is speed and efficiency when it comes to gas fees. The amount of money that you have to spend when you are transacting on Ethereum is parabolic. It's very expensive right now. But Ethereum's, well, none of these coins are a finished product, but Ethereum's gearing up to change to Ethereum 2.0. Ethereum 2.0 is scheduled for mid of this year. A lot of people are speculating the end of this year, and they've been talking about Ethereum 2.0 for a while now. And it's kind of an ongoing joke that every time Ethereum talks about an upgrade, it gets delayed. That's why people don't want to believe them that Ethereum 2.0 is coming mid 2022. It could. But as of right now, in today's date, there are faster and cheaper places that deal with smart contracts, NFTs, and yeah, the metaverse. The metaverse is a thing. And there's a lot of things that are going on around the world in regards to the metaverse. So there's a lot of big news that is coming out talking about, Microsoft buying Activision for $68.7 billion. And they're talking about how it's a metaverse play. You have Google getting into crypto. You have Walmart getting into crypto. Facebook's in there with their metaverse play. Oculus is going to be right there with them. Probably soon enough, you're going to see companies like Amazon. We've had, who was the one that was recently partnered with MasterCard? There's a platform that recently partnered with MasterCard as well. So all these big companies are talking big about crypto and they're getting into crypto, but the market is falling right now. And I've talked about the support levels in regards to Bitcoin previously. You're going to see a lot of articles saying Bitcoin drifting below 40,000. Fed releases a white paper on central bank digital currency. The SEC chair Gary Gensler wants more control of crypto. So FUD, guys, a lot more FUD going on. Oh, didn't want to click on it. A lot more articles coming out talking about the FUD that's going on right now. And in my previous videos, I talked about how we are going to be going into a downtrend going to the end of this month. There are talks about interest rates rising on the 26th of January. The 26th of January. Rising interest rates, markets will fall, right? There's a lot of FUD that's going on right now, and people are trying to secure their investments. Any little bit of negative news, people will sell off right now, and you will see the markets come down. But if you are long on cryptocurrency, and if you're long on Bitcoin, then you're not necessarily sad at this point. These are great opportunities to buy into these projects and these coins at great prices. But I have to emphasize that you have to be medium to long term on some of these plays. Cointelegraph, same thing. Bitcoin dumps to hit 6-month lows near 38K. Everyone's talking about it, right? A lot of times when we are trading cryptocurrencies, a lot of times people will talk about what is sentiment. Sentiment is social media's reaction, their emotional reaction to these cryptocurrencies. This is why some small cap coins do parabolic moves. Small cap coins do parabolic moves because of sentiment. It's the emotional reaction of investors in the market. Some of these emotional reactions get more money to be dumped into these small cap investments than the companies that they're actually worth. And it all comes down to sentiment. So sentiment plays a big role. What is social media talking about these cryptocurrencies? There's another one, JP Morgan, Ethereum losing ground to other crypto and NFT market due to high transaction fees and congestion. This is very true. High transaction fees and congestion. There's a lot of times where it'll tell me it's very congested right now, so the fees are higher. And that's generally how it goes. That is generally how it goes, guys. Generally how it goes. Where's my window? Is this my window? Nope. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, if I'm coming through okay. It's a good question. It's a good question. Is layer 3 for cross-train? You know what? I don't know too much about layer 3, but oh, wait, hold on a second. You're talking about the three things that I was talking about earlier. Let me see if I can find them real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me see what it is. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out what it is, but it could be decentralization, speed, and security, but I could be wrong. I'd have to find it after right now. I can't remember off the top of my head. I haven't finished my coffee for the day yet. I'm not sure. Sorry about that one, guys. All right. Yeah, so this is very true when it comes to Ethereum. However, this all changes when Ethereum 2.0 comes in. Now, do I think that Ethereum's going to dump like crazy and go to nothing? No. There is a good 50%-ish of Ethereum that is locked up in regards to staking and other projects that are on the network. And it can't be removed until Ethereum 2.0 comes out. So that is holding Ethereum up. Yes, we are dipping right now, but the whole market is dipping right now. So some very, very interesting things, very, very interesting things. So if we go over now and we take a look, hold on. Let me get my chart up here. Where's my window? Let's share my screen. Hey, what's up? Good morning, guys. I didn't even know I was throwing myself on there. All right, you guys should be able to see my chart here. Yeah, you guys should be able to see my chart. So if we are going to talk about Bitcoin, where did it come from? Where is it going? You can see I have my Fibonacci up here. I usually like to talk a little bit about, how I do my charting. It's very basic. Like I said, I just started learning how to do charting about a week ago, and I'm having so much fun doing it. So I usually use a couple indicators. Obviously, this is a Fibonacci retracement. It's a tool that traders use to help them see support and resistance lines. Down here, I hope you guys can see my mouse as well. Yeah, you guys can. Okay, perfect. So down here, this is what's called your RSI. It shows the relative strength index of a stock or crypto. Once it goes above a line, then it's basically says that it's oversold and there's a good probability that it's going to come back down. Once it goes below a certain line, it means that it is, this is overbought and means it's going to come back down. Down here is oversold, means that too many people are selling and the sentiment is going to turn back around and come back up. Now, we never really know how far above the line it's going to go and how far below the line it's going to go. But there are a couple indicators that we can go by. If we're just looking at the last year, the lowest that it was in regards to oversold territory was down here. The last time we had a dip, and hold on, this one was in March of 2020. And this one was May 2021. And obviously, we are going into oversold territory right now. Now, if we're going according to the last time we were oversold back in May, then we could be seeing a dip in the oversold territory somewhere down here. If we are going according to the one that happened in 2020, could be a pretty significant dip down here. But I'm hoping that we see somewhat of a trend line and we go up. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but the RSI trend lines aren't something that's pretty common. It was just something that I was looking at, seeing that if it is going to have some kind of correlation. So there are lots of different support lines according to this chart. Now, I'm not saying my chart is 100% accurate. Like I said, I'm just starting to learn how to chart. So these Fibonacci support and resistance lines could be a little bit off. However, that being said, we are dropping down into this falling wedge formation. Now, I did have another falling wedge that I had drawn from about this point. Oh, show you guys here. Do trend line from about this point, which was the all-time low, up to here. And I was hoping that we were going to stay within this falling wedge. This would have been great because this falling wedge literally would have taken us right into here. Let me get my little pencil tool. And we would have bounced and consolidated right into the 1st of February. And then we would have seen an upward trend momentum here. That would have been great. That would have been best case scenario, if you ask me. Well, we broke below that falling wedge, so it's irrelevant now. There's a couple other falling wedges that I've drawn, so you can see there's my new falling wedge that I've drawn here, and there's also another falling wedge that I have here. Now, the interesting thing with these falling wedges is that you're going to see that we're still within this falling wedge here, and we could be consolidating right into the second week of February. And that's also what I've been talking about. I said from the end of this month into the second week of February, we should see some downward momentum before we start to see some uptrends in regards to the crypto market and Bitcoin in general. Now, I did make a video talking about, what's considered to be a death cross. This is considered to be a death cross. It is, in general, for traders, a sell signal if you are short to medium term. It indicates that the market is going to be going on a downwards momentum. When the 50-day moving average crosses over the 200-day moving average, that's what they call a death cross. So, I think best case scenario right now with where Bitcoin is moving is that we stay within this falling wedge, right? I think that we do have to obviously test this resistance point right here around 36,000 US. Best case scenario, best is that we hit this support line, we bounce around it until about the 9th or 10th of February, and then we can break out of it. Next scenario. We break down under the resistance point and we bounce around the falling wedge into about the 15th of February. And we're bouncing around 5,000 US until we start to break into an uptrend momentum. Next worst case scenario is that we break below the trend line, the support level there, and we try to find some kind of support going into this level here. Now, this is going to take us in each scenario takes a little bit more time because we are trying to build more support before we go back into an uptrend. So if we break below this falling wedge, we'll be into this falling wedge going into 26th or 27th of February, where we're bouncing in the $30,000 range. I think this right here is very likely for us to find support and resistance, but there is a good chance that we're going to end up into this falling wedge. If you are long on Bitcoin, if you are long on cryptocurrency, shouldn't scare you. Should not scare you to see numbers between 30, 36,000 US. These are great opportunities to dollar cost average if you are looking to bring down the overall price of your investment. And if you are holding it for at least the next 2 years. Why would I say next 2 years? Am I saying that we're in a bear market? Not necessarily, But there are reasons why Bitcoin has parabolic moves. And depending on where you get your information, you may or may not have heard of a couple different things. And I'm going to go over a couple of those things very, very briefly. I'm not going to try to keep this as too long of a live stream, but I want to make sure that you guys have the right information to make the right kind of investments when it comes to cryptocurrency. So if you are investing in Bitcoin right now, what kind of investor are you? Because personally, with my investments in Bitcoin, I'm not short term, and I don't want to be short term in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a big market cap crypto. It is the biggest market cap crypto, which means it has the most amount of money in it. It takes a lot of money involved in Bitcoin for it to make the moves that it makes. We're going to see this year crypto in general do some crazy things, but Bitcoin, we can see it do, 1x, maybe a 1.5x. That's kind of what I'm feeling, right? That's kind of where I'm at. But some of the other cryptocurrencies, 5, 10, 100x, some ridiculous numbers. But you have to also remember, every time somebody makes life-changing wealth on the positive side, there are people that make life-changing debt. They lose money, right? Money just doesn't come out of thin air. So you have to understand that with every kind of investment that you do, there are risks in everything. So I'm not trying to be a bearer of bad news, but I'm just saying understand your entry positions and your exit positions when you're coming into any kind of investment. With Bitcoin, I am more long-term than any of my other crypto plays. There are some other coins that I'm invested in, but those to me are more short-term, medium-term. Some great layer one solutions. I'm super bullish on things like, Polkadot, Matic, Cosmos, Nervos. You guys are going to hear me start talking a lot more about Nervos. Nervos is a layer one solution that is a small cap altcoin that people are not talking about yet. And I highly, highly emphasize that word yet, because Nervos Network, a lot of people are going to start talking about them. They are partnered with Ethereum. They're partnered with Cardano. They're partnered with Binance. They are partnered with Opera, the web browser. They're partnered with a lot of people. I'm talking about like hundreds of partnerships. And what Nervos is trying to do is going to be what they're doing is going to be game changing. Like, it's already in the process. It's already been built. And people are just implementing what they've built now. So I'm going to have another video on Nervos Network. That's not what it's about, but that is another altcoin that I'm super bullish on. That's probably, one of the coins that's worth less than 2 pennies that I think is going to be doing some really interesting things. All right, so let's talk more about Bitcoin. But before I do, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe. Drop me a comment. Let me know that you're in here. I'm not really looking at the comments as I go through some of this. I will take a break every few moments and see what you guys are saying and making sure that my audio, my video is coming through, because I don't do too many live streams where I dive into the charts like this and some of the information. So I want to make sure I'm not, cutting out, or my audio is okay. Yeah, Latif said mine went down big time. Yeah, for sure. What's up, Digital Slang? How you doing? Good morning, man. I will also probably be on Digital Slang's live stream tonight. I think his show starts around 10 or 10:30. I could be wrong, Eastern Standard Time. So I will be there. We got 16 people in here. Make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Uno nice. My poor Litecoin looks like trash. It's down, but still I refuse to pull. Screw it. Let it fall. I don't care. I'm not pulling out. You tell them. But if you are in the position to do so and you feel with conviction that Litecoin is going to go back up, because I will tell you, in general, 9:30 tonight, Digital Slang. That I'll be on his channel tonight, 9:30. So make sure you follow Digital Slang. Right. So if you feel with conviction and that there is solid ground with whatever you're invested in, if it's Litecoin, I'm not here to tell you not to invest into a certain cryptocurrency, because at the end of the day, I don't have a crystal ball. You have to do the research for your investments. This may be a good time to dollar cost average into some of those investments, Uno. Maybe. I'm not a financial advisor. That's what I have to say. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's right. What's up, Sim? CKB to the moon. Digital slang is another CKB enthusiast like I am. Craig says, try to make 15% on your money for sure. But if you are new to investing, I need you to understand time frames, right? A lot of people who are very invested and very seasoned when it comes to trading, trade the stock market, let's say, make 10% on some of their plays in the year. If they're long-term holders and not like frequent traders or flippers, right? Least amount of risk factors, you're looking at around 10% in the stock market, right? You want to get riskier, you can make bigger gains, but you can also lose more money. So understand what your risk levels are and understand your entries and exits, right? I did talk about a couple of the reasons why it's crashing, Martin. So if you want to rewind to the beginning of the stream, I talk about, some news coming out from the SEC. Interest rates are going up in regards to the end of the month around the 26th of January, and people are very fearful. There's a lot of FUD in the market right now. We're talking about fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right? Because of this, anytime we see a little bit of negative news, people are trying to, very popular term, see profit, take profit. If you are profitable, take it and wait for a better buying opportunity. Some people are doing that, right? If we were to look at this chart right here, when was the last time Bitcoin was at these prices? Last time Bitcoin was at these prices was July of 2021. So if you bought May to July, you're still profitable. If you bought before February, you're still profitable. But we're only talking about the last year, guys. 1 year, right? Even if you would have invested July of last year, we're talking about Bitcoin being at $30,000 July of last year, and it went all the way up to 69,000 US. You more than doubled your money. In 6 months, you doubled your money. But if we are long-term holders, if we look at Bitcoin in the long-term scale of things, we go back a couple years, even 2019. If we go back to 2019, where was Bitcoin? Why is my chart not going back that far? I might have to change my chart. I'll have to change my chart. Give me 1 second here, guys. Where was Bitcoin? Yeah. Look at this, 2016. Bitcoin was a couple $100. 10 years ago. If we went back 10 years ago, if these charts would let me go back 10 years ago, Bitcoin was like less than $1. So understand what time frames you're looking at your investments. Do I think Bitcoin can be worth $100,000? Yeah. Do I even think that Bitcoin could be worth $250,000 a coin or $500,000 a coin? I do. I do think that. Is that going to happen today? No. Is it going to happen tomorrow? No. 5 to 10 years. We're going to see consistent support and resistant plays over the next 5 to 10 years. And there's going to be some significant money that's going to be going into cryptocurrency. We're talking right now the crypto market versus things like traditional investments like gold. Market cap for all of cryptocurrency is right around $2 trillion, probably less than $2 trillion right now. Market cap of gold is 12 trillion. I think very strongly that difference, that ratio, is going to shrink a lot. And cryptocurrency is going to be going up towards a similar market cap that we see gold at today. So, yeah. So, yeah, a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But there are a couple other things why. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I do want to show a couple other things in regards to the trends of Bitcoin. I do want to show a couple of things. So let me just share my screen again with some of the web news. So let me just make sure I'm not missing any chats or any comments while I do so. Uno, nice. I'm coming to Canada. And when you hear a lot of the foul language outside your residence, peek out your window, and it's going to be you in a wheelchair. Uno, nice. You'll be fine, man. Just, do your research, understand your investments, understand your entries and your exits, and you'll be all right, man. Dollar cost average along the way, and you'll be fine. Craig says, take money you're comfortable losing and gambling. Win 2, take back 1. Yeah. You start with your bag and you build off your bag. You don't keep dumping money into a bag with a hole in it if you're not doing something right. You got to learn along the way. What's up, Mike C? How you doing, man? I am in for 5 to 10 years minimum into Cardano. I recouped my initial investment and dollar cost averaging now. Beautiful. That's what you should be doing. 100%. Cardano is a great play right now. Listen to me. Cardano is a great play right now on the short and the long term, but you have to understand both. Cardano is a great play for the short term right now because Cardano is in the metaverse, NFTs, and smart contracts right now with cross blockchain compatibility coming. What does that even mean? Cross blockchain compatibility. They've partnered with Nervos Network, which allows them to have projects that are being built on Cardano to communicate with projects that are also on Ethereum and Binance. So short term and long term, great for Cardano, 100%, right? But I want to show you guys a couple things here. I want to show you guys a couple interesting things. Some people want to say, you never know what Bitcoin's going to do. Never know what Bitcoin's going to do. But what if I told you there's some people that say, you know exactly what Bitcoin is going to do? I don't know if they're right. Who knows who's right, right? But there is something that's called a stock to flow. Let me grab this here. Let's do stock. All right. So if we look at stock to flow, it's a very interesting model or chart that graphs Bitcoin versus the stock to flow model. And it has, let me see if you guys can still see my screen. Okay, good. It can actually show you the general path of how Bitcoin moves. And it's, for the most part, kind of stayed within that line of the stock to flow. Some people are very religious in saying Bitcoin only follows this model. And if you're looking at this chart, it looks pretty damn similar. Obviously, there are a couple run-ups and it goes down and it comes back and it kind of has that average where it stays along that line. So, in my, research, why do we have these run-ups with Bitcoin every few years? And when are we due for the next one? Interesting stuff, right? Interesting stuff. What makes these years significant when it comes to Bitcoin? This all has to come down to Bitcoin mining. All has to do with Bitcoin mining. So if I was to go and I was to pull up Bitcoin halving dates. So what is Bitcoin halving? This is funny. They put a picture of somebody that's mining Ethereum for a Bitcoin mining article. So that's incorrect. But for the average person who doesn't know what crypto mining is, that is a relevant picture because that is crypto mining. But this person is mining Ethereum. Anyway, so Bitcoin halving is the rate in which the rewards that are paid for mining in Bitcoin is cut in half. So a couple things to know, general information when it comes to Bitcoin mining is that the difficulty level in regards to mining is in regards to how many or what is the mining power on the network at the time. The higher the power that is mining on Bitcoin at the time, the more difficult the network becomes to mine. Basically, it's the more people that are fighting for a Bitcoin to be mined is more ways that pie has to be split, right? More people have to be paid, but there's a set amount that gets paid out. So the more people that jump in, smaller pieces of the pie. That's generally how mining goes, right? But Bitcoin has a halving event every few years. And that halving event means that the reward, the total amount that get paid to the Bitcoin miners goes down. So even if the people mining goes up, the amount that everybody will make will go down. Does this mean that it's a bad thing? Depends, right? But if you are bullish on crypto compared to fiat currency, not necessarily, because even if you make less Bitcoin because you are paid in crypto when you mine crypto, you have to keep in mind if you want to transfer that to your fiat bank, your USD bank account, your Canadian bank account, your European bank account, wherever you are in the world, you are exchanging that to another currency. And these cryptos will go up in regards to these currencies, right? So even if you own less of a coin, that less of a coin could be worth more at the time you're cashing out. So that's why that's why crypto miners and the amount of people getting into crypto mining keeps going up. Because if you were crypto mining 5 to 10 years ago and you held with diamond hands what you were crypto mining, the return on your investment was absolutely insane. All right, so it says at the current rate that Bitcoin are being produced, halvings happen every 4 years. Now, this is affected by the amount of people mining the coin because it's actually scheduled for when certain blocks are hit when crypto is mining, when people are mining Bitcoin, right? So if we get a parabolic move in the amount of people that are mining Bitcoin, then this can happen in less than 4 years, right? Bitcoin halving is a part of a system designed to cap the total number of Bitcoins at 21 million. Facts. All right, so let me see. Does it have the dates here? Here we go. The reward for mining a block is reduced to half for every 2010 blocks added. It currently takes some 4 years to add that many blocks, so Bitcoin halving has been occurring at approximately 4-year intervals. The last and third halving took place on May 2020. So let's take a look back at the stock to flow. May 2020, March. Here's May 2020. Right, literally right here. That halving event took place, and we are in upwards momentum in regards to the price of Bitcoin. Right? What was the halving day before 2020? This article doesn't say. This looks like the same article. That looks like the same article. Let's see. This one looks like it has better dates. I hope. If it loads. All right. So here's some halving dates. So there's 2020, 2016, 2012, 2009. So let's see 2016 now. In our stock to flow, 2016. 2016. There we go. Halving event took place. Bitcoin's price went up. What was the one before it? 2012. Let's take a look. 2012. Look at that. 2012. Bitcoin halving event took place, and Bitcoin's price went up, right? So generally what we're seeing here is every 4 years, we have a halving event. Starts the next bull cycle, right? And then within roughly next year and a half, 2 years, we see it peak and consolidate and get ready for the next halving event, right? So there's 2 years after it. Look at that peak, 2014. We start to consolidate and we get ready for the next halving event. Boom, right? We are getting close to halfway to that next halving event, which will be happening 2024. So there should be another peak and a consolidation where we'll get ready for the next halving event. This is a very interesting chart to look at and to research. If you guys want to research something, it's called the stock to flow model. Very interesting things. The other thing that you guys should be researching is halving events. If you are investing into any cryptocurrency, what is the supply of that cryptocurrency? What is that? What is the supply? How does it work? How do the halving events work? And what play does it have in historically the charts? Now, if you're long-term on any of this stuff and you don't want to learn about the charts, that's fine. But understand that you're long-term and you choose that path so that when you see a dip, if you can do so, if you have that much conviction, then dollar cost average in. Right? Now, right now, let me see. What is the website? If you guys are just coming in now, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button. I will be dropping a lot more charts. Oh, my phone is dead. Where's my charger? What was I saying? So, right now we're seeing a market dominance. Let me see if I can pull up a market dominance. Just to go over that for. No, I don't want that one. Is it decrypt? No, these are articles. I'm looking for. These are not what I'm looking for. Go away. Okay. Oh, this works. There's a better one, but I can't remember the website right now. So this shows Bitcoin's dominance versus all the other coins in regards to the whole market cap of cryptocurrency. And you can see that we are in a downtrend for market dominance when it comes to Bitcoin versus the total market cap of crypto. What does that mean, guys? That means that there is more money going into the crypto world, and it's not just going into Bitcoin. But as of right now, Bitcoin still does hold about 38% of market dominance when it comes to the total crypto market. Still pretty significant, a lot lower than what it used to be back at 95 when it was in 2013, right? But we are still going to see the markets move with Bitcoin. We are still going to see that, at least for another couple of years. There are going to be some things that move outside of Bitcoin, but that's going to be because of certain plays in regards to the world of NFTs, smart contracts, and the metaverse. Those are all keywords, right? Those are things that we're going to see. But for the most part, they're still going to follow the general trend. Yeah, we're going to see some big spikes, but there is going to be consolidation where things are going to move generally in the same way, right? So 38% money does flow in through Bitcoin, and then it gets kind of dispersed throughout other altcoins. So market dominance is very interesting to research as well too, if you're looking to, learn about cryptocurrencies, learn about market dominance. What coins hold the biggest pull when it comes to the market cap of crypto in total? $45. I have $1,000. What is the best crypto to invest in right now? It's so hard to answer that question with a straight answer, because it's almost like you need to ask short term, medium term, long term. How long do you plan on keeping this invested in the market? If you're looking to have the least riskiest play when it comes to cryptocurrency, absolute least riskiest play, then you could go with something like Bitcoin. You could. That is the least riskiest play. Now, least riskiest could mean the least amount of returns on your money. I'll go back to the charts and we'll take a look. Let's take a look. So let's go back to the charts. Where's my chart? All right. So here's the charts. So we were going over the support and resistance lines in regards to Bitcoin, and where you could possibly buy in. Now, if you are holding Bitcoin for at least the next 2 years, all of this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, in my opinion, because I do think in the next 2 to 4 years, we will see easy $100,000 Bitcoin, maybe more. So if you invested, if you invest here, you invest here, or hell, you invest somewhere up here, you're going to be positive as Bitcoin starts to turn back around going into 2022, 2023, right? But if you are short term, you're just looking to play the markets, think and you can catch the dip before it stops dipping. I'm not saying that I can or I can predict it. These are just educated guesses. And as we are looking at these educated guesses, this is something interesting. What did I draw that line for? Hold on here. What is this line? So this is a long-term chart of crypto, or Bitcoin, just looking at some of the previous levels that we were at. We down here we hit about 37,000. This was a support and resistance line right here, but roughly around that. But this was back in 2021, and it looks like we're testing that resistance point literally right now, today. And if we break below that, that's where we fall into this falling wedge. So let me go back into looking at this falling wedge. Like if you were looking to try to time the market and you thought you could catch it before the dip, or you want to set some limit buys up so that it buys along the way as it drops, what are some levels that you would do this at? Where's my falling wedge? All right. So we have a falling wedge in here. So it looks to me at least that the falling wedges that I've been drawing were breaking below at this point. Because what I was saying is that we are going to drop down and test this resistance line here. And I was hoping that we kind of bounce along it. We build some consolidation. And then sometime around sometime around, I think it was around the 9th of February. For some reason, it's not giving me a date. Let me see. Let's go to my 3 months. There we go. So that would have been somewhere around the 5th of February. If we stayed above this support line here, then we could have seen a change in the trend of Bitcoin. But I do strongly believe at this point that we are going below this wedge that I have here. And if we do, next line of support and resistance is this line right here, which is the support line. That's going to be around 36,000 US. And we could consolidate along those times until the 7th of February. These are all hypothetical, guys. All hypothetical according to the falling wedges that I'm drawing on my chart. Now, if we break below that support line, right, there's a couple other wedges that we can see, 36,000. It could consolidate around there. We're probably going to break. If we break this one, we probably will break this one too, because it's not really a significant. Actually, this one. Let me get rid of these. Oh. So I will say this line right here is a stronger support than this one is here. So we've just broken through this one, didn't even flinch. And I do think that we're going to be going right into this line right here. So what does that look like? We build some consolidation right into the 7th of February. Oh no. What did I just do? I hope it kept my lines. Yeah, okay. All right, we break below that. Then we are consolidating along this falling wedge. And we could be consolidating right into February 15th. And we're looking at price points about 34,000. If we break specifically this resistance line here, which is the 36,000 resistance line. So if you're really looking to set up some limit buys and, hopefully you grab them along the way as it goes down, then you could set them around, every $1,000 drop between, maybe 37.5, 36.5, and you could do a couple limit buys on the way down. If you wanted to get into a decent position that you're looking to hold until 2024 or until at least the next parabolic blow off. At least Bitcoin, like I said, I can see Bitcoin doing 100,000. I can see Bitcoin doing 250,000, but that's not right away. That $250,000 is not this year. I really don't think so. All right. Let me see what the chat's saying. Going below 30K is very interesting, but I mean, if it does, I'll be buying the dip. If you were looking for riskier plays, personally, I really like layer one solutions. So I'm not telling you to buy these. I'm telling you to research things like Cosmos, Polygon, Dot, Matic, Cardano, No order, but these are some of the coins that I'm recommending, right? Super bullish on CKB, Nervos Network. Some of the other coins that I'm mining that I'm hoping will do good. We're looking at obviously helium. I do mine helium. I'm also mining Library Coin. I'm not too sure where Library Coin is going to go, but they're making a decentralized version of YouTube. So that's pretty cool. I hope it does do something. I hope that it has a metaverse play. I hope that it does, but don't really know at this point. Another coin that I'm mining is one called Starcoin. It's all very, very new. Starcoin is a very new coin. Not really sure what's going to go. And that's speculative mining play for me that I'm just planning on holding a bag of Starcoin. So these are not financial advice in any way. I'm saying do research on your coins. Understand how long you want to be in them. Understand your entries and your exits and where you want to go. All right, guys. So that was just a really, really quick video on what Bitcoin is doing right now. Now, this is a very large Fibonacci retracement on this, but, you know, if Rojas thinks, because I see Rojas in the chat there. Rojas says, morning, it's going to blow 30K. That'd be some great buying opportunity. Some great buying opportunity if it does. You think it's going to hit off the 20K line? I don't know. What would a falling wedge look like if it does that? Let me see if I can find that on my chart. Let's see if I can find 20K. I mean, I don't think it's going to. There are some people that are really talking about a crazy crash right now. But maybe I can chart it and see what they see and like what situation that would happen. Let's do a trend line. Nope. Let's do. In what situation does it do that? If I'm going off this and building a, down descending wedge from this point to this point, then that's still. Let me get rid of this one here. So there is a descending wedge that I could build off these top points here. But it would have to break through two other descending wedges and some other levels of resistance in order to do so. So hold on, let me see if I can extend these levels here. Let's see. So if we're talking about it dropping below 30K, then what am I seeing? I'm seeing 23,000, March 22nd. But in order for it to do that, it's got to blow through a bunch of resistance and a bunch of other falling wedges in order to do that. So maybe that's what some people are seeing when they're saying that it's dropping below 30K. They could also be seeing, other support and resistance levels like 19,000. But we have to understand that there's a lot of history that's being built with these financial and crypto coins, right? A lot of history. What are these history levels I'm talking about? So let me draw some lines here. Let me take off some of this stuff so it's not so confusing for you guys. Can you guys see me charting? Yeah, you guys can see me charting. And Jay Griff says, big time sale going on, guys. Even if you're at a loss right now, buy and dollar cost average down. This will all turn around and go back up eventually. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. So spread out your investment, buy some of each. Yeah, it's great. Diversify your portfolio. 100%. Understand what is your, short-term risk, long-term risk, high risk, low risk, and diversify yourself, right? So if Rojas is saying that he thinks it's going under $30,000, let's take a look at what I say, that there's history being built and a lot of support that's being built along the way. Let's do horizontal lines. Yeah, this is a big one right here. And we're going to see, look, it's touched this support line here, 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 and almost there. There's a lot of history with this price point. That's the $30,000 mark, around the $30,000 mark. A lot of history. So I highly, highly don't think it's going to be dropping below that. The other reason is generally, if we're bullish on something, we don't want to see we want to see something building higher lows. Every time it dips, it's looking for points along the way where it doesn't dip as low as last time, right? And that's kind of why we draw things like these trend lines. Like my first original trend line that I was drawing was something like this, because I was looking for Bitcoin to kind of go off of the lower lows that it had and build a higher low. So I was hoping that it was going to build a higher low at this point, so that every time it retested that, it would come back to a new higher low and continue its consolidation and build new support levels. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. It is still building support, at least previously, on this $30,000 line. Now, in the past, it has tried to build support along about the 39,000 level, right? We can see that we've played around with that level there, here, 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 and here, but we broke below it, which means we're still testing the previous higher lows, right? That's why a lot of people think that we're going to $30,000. But there is a lot more money involved in Bitcoin now and in cryptocurrency in general, and the sentiment is higher than it ever has been. So falling wedges are good ways to kind of monitor, possible or potential breakout into a new position. So let me, before we move on to charting some other coins, I do see some requests in the chat, but I wanted to point out something that was posted in the Telegram group this morning. So hold on, give me 1 second here, and then I will. Where are we at? All right, let me share my screen here. So this is the Next Level Trades and Gains group. You can see I posted this chart. Can you guys see this chart, or is it not blowing up? Probably not blowing up. Let me see if I can save it to my desktop and then open it from here. This PC pictures. Where did I save it to? Save as. It's in the downloads. All right, let me see if I can share this now. And I'll get to that, Uno Nice. This is a good comment here. That's a good comment for sure. All right, so let's blow this up a little bit. I know it's really, really blurry, guys. I apologize. But what we're looking at here is the previous price movements or percentage, either gains or drops over the past couple of years, going from 2022 to 2013. This is all in regards to Bitcoin's monthly returns. So we're going to see that generally when January was red, generally, now not every time, February was green, right? And obviously there was a couple times when January was green and we were red in February, right? So if someone was to look at this chart, they'd be like, there's a good percentage that were red. So there could be a good percentage that were green with a monthly return coming February. So if we're looking at something like maybe, 2019, we were down 8% for Bitcoin. We're down 9%. January 19th, went into February, did 11% gains, right? February, we could close out somewhere around those same gains. Who knows? We don't know where Bitcoin's going, but there is a good probability that the sentiment will change within February. And that's where I'm going as well. So let's talk about, what else did I miss? So yeah, spread out your investments by, determine how much, if you have $1,000, how much of that do you want to have high risk or low risk, right? How much of it do you want to invest in, something as, to me, I'm going to say that it's less risky, Bitcoin, than some of the other altcoins or low cap investments. How much do you want to invest in something like Bitcoin that's less riskier, which potentially has less gains than the rest of the crypto market? Or are you just looking to take $1,000 and throw it at a dartboard and see which small market cap cryptos you can make some money on? Right? I'm not advising you to pick random ones and throw your money at it, but you have to also know what your exit strategy is for every single one of the investments that you get into. What is your exit strategy? If you pick some of these small coins, are you seriously waiting for 100x? I hear some people and they're like, we're going to the moon. I'm going to buy this at a penny and it's going to go to $1,000. And I'm not selling until it gets to $1,000. I'm like, really? You're going to miss out on 500% gains, 10,000, like 10x gains, 25x gains, 50x gains, and you're going to hold right to 1,000? I wouldn't do that. That's just me personally, though, right? Like we had, what was that guy's name? Doge, Proto the Doge or something like that, and he invested 130,000 in Dogecoin, and it went all the way up to several millions of dollars, and he didn't sell. Dogecoin was worth, what was it? 60 cents, 70 cents US, somewhere around there. And then it went all the way back down to like 15, 14 cents. I don't know. I would have been happy selling at 60 cents. But you're going to hold it to go to $1 from when it was worth less than $1? I don't know, man. I'll take a look at Doge and SHIB in a second if you want me to. Yeah, no worries, man. Now, remember, I don't got no crystal ball. I'll just show you what I see on the charts, right? I mean, what I see on the charts is going to be very, very short term. Very, very short term. Uno Nice says, price of everything in the United States has gone up. So, of course, you're going to see a big dip in all currency, goods, products, foods, etc. Price goes up, dollar value goes down. Less of the dollar can buy less of things, right? The dollar just doesn't stretch as far as it used to. And we're printing more and more money. So, yeah. Yeah, time to buy a little bit of everything for sure. Well, as long as you're, as long as you do a little bit of research. There are some projects that have, been a rug pull in the past, but do a little bit of research and you know what's out there. Just got to hang in there. This will get better over time. Unfortunately, we are spoiled, and in the I see it, I like it, I want it, I'm getting it now living stage. So I call it kind of like the age of like TikTok and the age of like Snapchat, right? We are being forced to have a really, really bad attention span, right? We're just scrolling. We watch something for 7 seconds, 20 seconds. I don't even know what it is because I don't have TikTok. And you get that brain chemical for those few seconds and you get that high. And then you move on to the next one and you look for that next high and you keep moving every, 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds. Investments doesn't work that way. If we look at investments like our parents did, right? Our parents had to go into a bank. They had to go into a bank and talk to a banker, and that banker had to do the investments for them. We are in like the age of the internet where everything is done on our cell phones now. We don't need an investor. We don't need them, right? But those investments that were done during our parents' time, they literally would just keep investing over time and then they would look at it at their retirement. Do you imagine if you did that to cryptocurrency? If you did that to Bitcoin, you started buying in 2010 and you bought a couple along the way and you kept buying along the way, and where you'd be at right now? I think it was like 2010, a dollar would have bought you like 1,300 Bitcoins or something like that. Something ridiculous. But if we understand how investments work, then it'll be a lot less risky for us, right? If we played it the same way that our parents played investments when we were growing up, we would be millionaires right now. If we understood cryptocurrency the same way. But at the same time, there's a lot of risk. There's a lot of risk involved, and you have to understand that you invest with money that you don't technically need, right? For sure. So this is also true. So, Dane says having patience when it comes to money is difficult. It's getting harder to make and save money in the economy right now. And that kind of goes back a lot of conversations when I talk about money is that we all need multiple forms of income. Even if you make $1 on your second, third, fourth, fifth form of income, right? You need to have that stream. And then once you have it, then you can learn how to optimize it if you want. But the problem is if we don't have multiple forms of income, then we become victim to the job market and we take and we do whatever society wants us to take and whatever society wants to pay us to do it, right? If you had multiple streams of income and you were able to build up kind of a backbone and something happened to your mainline job, you might be able to do things like hold off a little bit more when you're applying for jobs instead of taking the very first job that says, okay, we'll hire you and we'll pay you this amount, right? And sometimes we're in such a crunch that you got to take whatever you got to take, and you're not even in a position to negotiate a salary. And a lot of us are in that position because we weren't able to figure out a way to diversify our income, to multiply our income like streams. You have to have more than one. Digital slang still saying CKB. Craig says when you make a gain, take some of the profit out and buy something you want to make you happy. I like to invest in things that make me more money. That's why I'm, really looking into crypto mining. And I want to make a business out of it. I really do. I want to make a business out of crypto mining, and I want to make that into like almost a full-time income. And I'm trying to figure out how to do it. What's up, Dimmy? Tech is my passion. Diversification. What's up, man? Good to see you here. Uno, nice. Yeah, it is what it is. It's hard to understand the word discipline when we get beaten down so hard by society. And, there's a lot of things. I don't want to get into a conspiracy theory or anything like that, right? But but there's a lot of things that are going on around us that makes it very difficult to focus. Like right now, I'm in Canada. Canada's sending out warships right now. We're fighting a pandemic and we're slowly starting to open back up, but we're in a lockdown. And I don't understand any of it. Any of this stuff that's going on right now, I don't understand any of it. Politically, like I don't even want to go down that road. Like it all feels like we are being distracted by a whole bunch of things. And that's why I'm trying to have my laser focus on getting me to the next level. That's right, digital. You heard me. F around and find out. I'll tell you what. All right. So somebody asked me to take a look at Dogecoin. Historically, the biggest factor for Dogecoin is Bitcoin. When Bitcoin moves, Dogecoin moves. The secondary factor is your Musk daddy. When Musk daddy says something, it moves, but he's having a little less of a pull these days than he has in the past. So this has been a great stream, guys. I've been streaming for an hour and a half. There's some great information that I've been covering. If you guys are just catching me now, I highly suggest that you actually rewind this stream and you listen from the beginning, because there's some really good information that I've talked about in regards to Bitcoin. I've talked about the FUD in the market right now. I've talked about some changes that are happening with the SEC, some changes that are happening with interest rates. I've talked about, some of the support and resistance levels with Bitcoin. I've talked about falling wedges. I've talked about the death cross when we're charting. I've talked about being oversold in regards to Bitcoin. I've talked about, this is a big recap of all the things I talked about. I also talked about stock to flow versus Bitcoin, which is a very, very good thing to look at if you want to do research and you're a long-term holder of Bitcoin, is the stock to flow model. I've also talked about Bitcoin halving and how that affects the market. This has been an information-packed live stream. And if you're just joining me now, I highly recommend going back and rewatching it, right? If there's anything that you guys want me to touch on in more detail, that I've kind of talked about during this live stream, then maybe I can make a more dedicated video instead of live stream about it. You guys can leave that in the comment section below when the video is over, and I'll come back and I'll take a look at it. But this is more of the content that I'm going down the road. I'm charting offline, so I figured instead of doing it offline, I might as well do it online with you guys. I enjoy charting. I really do enjoy charting. So I want to share it with you guys. And if you guys enjoy it, then I appreciate it. You guys have always tended to motivate me to get to my next level and keep me going. So I appreciate it. All right. So we're going to pull up Bitcoin's charts. Do I have a chart that's pre-built for not Bitcoin? Dogecoin. I do have a Dogecoin. All right. Interesting stuff here. So you guys want me to share my screen, don't you? I bet you do. Before I do Dogecoin, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Mounties on boats. That is, I want somebody to actually draw that. That would be funny. That's funny. Demi says, we buy all kinds of stuff on sale and are happy. We have sales on crypto and cry. We are really weird. Yes, humans. It's true, man. It's true. It's true. Uno, nice. Whenever you get your mining crypto together like a business, I want to talk to you and invest in you. Honestly, man, it is insane the amount of people who have said this to me. I've had realtors, I've had, a lot of people in the financial industry who have offered, I'm like tens, 20s, $30,000 investing into my business. And I've said no to all of them. I've said no. I feel bad about taking other people's money. Right. And I'm at the point where I'm really trying to understand the concept of making mining a business. Right. You do need access to a lot of power. You need access to a lot of power. And it doesn't make sense if you're doing it with a standard residential power. I mean, it does to a certain extent, but if you want to make it as a business, you need access to more power. You can do it as a residential, situation if upgrade your electrical situation in your house, because you'll need more 30 amp breakers, 220-volt plugs. You'll need those things done. So that does take a little bit of money to change up your residential stuff. But if I want to make it into a business, I need an industrial location where I have a lot more access to industrial power. So yeah. Okay. I appreciate it. At the end of the day, whatever I tell you, it's not financial advice, but I'm just telling you these things with the research that I do, and I hope that you guys do your own research as well. All right, so let me share my screen and we'll go into Dogecoin because apparently you guys are excited for Dogecoin. Let's go. A couple different things here. Did I share my screen? I hope I did. Yeah, I shared my screen. I hope that you guys can see this. I know it's a little small. I don't really have a way of increasing the text size, so I apologize. A couple different things when I do my charts. I obviously look at my 50-day moving average, my 200-day moving average. I also use something that's called my Keltner channels, and my Keltner channels are these indicators that you're going to see here, here, and here, for instance. And those give me kind of an idea when we're in an upwards momentum or we're about to enter into a downwards momentum. Really interesting little indicators. Okay. I also use what's called your RSI, which is your relative strength index. As I haven't had breakfast yet, I'm running on Steam, so I really wanted to get this live stream done so that I can take away some of that fear that a lot of people are talking about in the market right now. Yeah, it's a possibility that we could go down lower. It is, but if you're long term on crypto and long term on Bitcoin, then it just means that we're going on sale. And set your limit buys, dollar cost average where you can, and understand your entries and your exits and positions, right? So, anyways, RSI, relative strength index, and generally when we see things like when it goes above here, when it goes above, when it goes above, when it goes above, it means that we are getting into overbought territory and that we're about to enter downward momentum. And you can kind of see as well. So this is where the last signal here was, where we're overbought. And you can see it was indicating here, it was indicating here. And then it was confirmed by right here that we were about to enter some downward momentum, right? So there's a couple indicators I like to look at on charts. I mean, if you're not interested in learning how to read charts, that's cool. I just like to go over it in my stream so that people understand where I get some of my reasoning. You can see that downward momentum right here, the last one that was indicated by my relative strength index was right here, saying that we were going in downwards momentum, right? And then the interesting thing is, or the confirmations that you're going to get when you're looking at some of these charts. I'm looking at Dogecoin right now, but this is just general information when you're charting. My Keltner right here told me that we're about to enter some downward momentum. And then the other confirmation that you're going to get is when your 50-day moving average goes below your 200-day moving average. And that literally happened right here. So we had three indicators, 1, 2, and 3, that said that we were about to go into a downwards momentum when it comes to where this is going. That's generally, some of the indicators that I use to see where we're going, right? And then you're going to see, oh, we had an indicator of an upwards momentum here, but then it was quickly followed by downwards momentum indicator, right? So let's see here. If I try to zoom out as far as I can, I'm going to try to draw some support and resistance levels. Let's see, support and resistance levels. I don't like that point. Let's see. I need to go back further. Yeah, I like this one. This one lines up a lot better here. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. right, so on the short term, what do I see with Dogecoin? So in general, Dogecoin, like I said, moves with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's in a downwards momentum right now, so Dogecoin is in downwards momentum, right? A couple different support and resistance lines, key indicators, broke below this 15 cents. This was done by Elon Musk. He tweeted that they were accepting Dogecoin on their merchandise page, and it shot up, right? But how do we know that what he says doesn't have the same impact as before? Right here, look at this, guys. It shot up, but it didn't break that resistance line of the 2175, right? That 2175 resistance line did not break it. And we came back down and we retested this resistance level at 18 cents. And then we came back down and we retested 15.5. And we broke down, right? So a couple things to look at when we're talking about Dogecoin. Where are we going? Right? We're in a falling wedge formation right here, right? Some interesting things here. What do I look at here? So this is a downwards momentum indicator, right? When the 50-day moves across the 200-day, downwards momentum indicator means that we're going downwards. So we're still going down. I would think if we're looking at trying to see if there's any support levels that I'm missing. I want to go back a little bit further. I want to make sure that I'm not missing any support levels. So this is the thing too, guys. Like, look at this coin, right? It's great when we see some parabolic moves, of course, right? But the thing is, it hasn't really built a lot of support levels along the way. It literally just shot up and then came back down. And now it looks like it's building support levels along this line here, right? That looks like where it's trying to build that support and resistance levels, but it doesn't really have anything else until here. Like, you might have another one here. Let me draw another line. You might have another one here. So let's zoom back in and see what that looks like, right? Let's go back to the daily. Let's do a 5-day. Yeah, I like this one better. All right, so where did I draw those lines? So I drew it really far out. Yeah, so I drew it there. So here's a couple interesting things, a couple scenarios that could play out for Doge. Let's do a monthly. It's just easier to see the lines at this point. Okay, so best case scenario I see with Doge right now is that it starts to build some consolidation along this line here. And we're looking at going into January 24th. Highly unlikely. I don't think this is going to happen. And then it starts to build some kind of upward momentum. Not saying it's going parabolic. I'm just saying that the sentiment changes. I really don't think that's going to happen. I'm not a financial advisor, but it could also bounce off this resistance level here. That would take us closer to the 25th of January. Still don't think that's going to happen. I think that it's going to go a little bit lower. If I was to guess, I think that we're going to see something more along these lines here. I think we're going to see something more along those lines there, where let me see if I can draw another trend line here. Yeah, so I can see that it could start to consolidate around 12 cents before we see a return on its sentiment, and it starts to come back up on the other side. That'll take us right into around the 28th of January. Now, there could be a couple other situations, like worst case scenarios that plays out. We could see this dropping below, falling into this falling wedge here, and we could see that it drops as low as 10 cents. And then it starts to move in that momentum, which leads me into the 30th of January. And I think that this could be more likely that we could see Dogecoin going into 10 cents. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, don't have a crystal ball, but I think that is going to be more of the play out there. If it breaks below 10 cents, let me see. To me, that is the most likely thing that's going to happen with Dogecoin, that it's going to go right into that 10 cents range before it really starts to turn around. I think so, but I could be wrong. No idea. Nobody really knows what's going on with the market, but that's kind of how I feel. If we go below that 10 cents area, the next level of resistance that we're going to have is really this 9.5 cents. I'm talking USD, guys. This 9.5 resistance here. So those are kind of the situations that I see Dogecoin playing out. No, you guys are crapping on me because I haven't had my new monitor set up. I know. Soon it's going to make it so much easier once I have my new monitor set up. I might go pick it up this weekend. It's at the other house. The orange. Oh, honestly, those are notes from Preppy. Just motivational things. Dane says, I tried to buy more to average out, but I'm at the point where I have no choice but to wait. No, that's, it's okay. Just be patient. Don't put yourself in a situation where, due to finances, you have to sell at a loss, right? You want to keep a little bit of a bag in case you have financial needs that you need to take care of. So this monitor that I'm on right now is a 32.5-inch or 32-inch curved Dell monitor, but the monitor that I will be changing my setup to is the 49-inch. I just have to clean up my apartment to make more room for that 49-inch monitor. It's huge, man. It is massive. Yeah. I hope you guys like these charting videos. I have a lot of fun doing them. Some really interesting stuff when I start to draw them. I kind of look at charting as like, an artistry, like you're a painter and you're painting a picture, and everyone has a different style. Everyone paints a different way. Everyone sees a different thing. That's the coolest thing about charting, right? You'll never be 100% accurate, but it's pretty cool that you have these indicators available to kind of help you along your journey, right? Really, really cool stuff. If you guys want me to look at SHIB too, so where do I think it's going? The most likely thing I think is going to happen for Dogecoin is that it's going to consolidate right down into here, which is around the 10 cent mark. And then we're going to start to see a change in sentiment, and then it's going to start to go that way. That's kind of where I feel that it's going to go. There are some other resistance levels, obviously around 9 cents. But right now, I'm pretty, I have some really pretty good conviction in regards to it doing what I just said there. But again, I'm not a Dogecoin holder. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just some random dude on the internet playing with squiggly lines on a chart. Let me see if I have SHIB. I think I did because I shibbed a chart for SHIB, the other SHIB, the other live stream. All right, so let's see where we're going with SHIB. You guys want to see SHIB? Interesting. Why did I draw a fib all the way over there? I must have been drunk on this live stream. Let's delete that. All right, let's delete this. Again, crypto is following Bitcoin right now, and we're dropping. So let me see if I can draw some support and resistance levels here and what it looks like. Here's my, let's do my fibs. What the heck? Let's draw my fibs. I'm going to go with this. And let me see if I can draw some wedges. Let's see. Can I draw some wedges? Let's bring this in a little bit. Let's do it on a monthly. And these wedges look really different on SHIB than I was seeing on some of the other cryptos. I wonder if I can draw something like, no, can't use that. What do I want to do? I don't really know where I want to draw the other support for the wedge. And I could try this, but I don't really like how that looks. Let's see if I can maybe do it from the breakout point from right here. Yeah, I don't like that one. Wow, if I'm using that as a wedge, that is crazy. Because I was originally, so just so you guys can see what I was seeing, I was really originally going to draw descending wedge using this point and the breakout point right here. But if I do, I'd have to really zoom in here. I kind of have to use it for here, at least somewhere around here. It's not really a clean cut. I don't like it. But there's a lot of descending points that are touching right there that looks to be more common. And if that's the case, that is, I don't even want to speculate. I'm going to go with that's wrong. Let me see. Hold on. I think I can draw another one using, oh, that looks like a better one. Oh, here. What is this? Where does this take me? I don't know, man. I don't really like SHIB. I'm not a SHIB investor, and I've usually when people ask me about SHIB, I tell them don't do it unless they understand their entries and their exits. So this doesn't look, I don't really like the way this looks, but there's a couple of situations this could play out. So let me see if I can draw a couple other support levels here by going off of what it went off in the past. Okay, let's go with horizontal lines. Okay, so around here generally is support and some kind of support and resistance here and some kind of support and resistance right about here. All right, so let's go back over and see where we're at. All right, where is SHIB going? Best case scenario, which I don't think is going to happen, is that we're going to be bouncing along this falling wedge right here. That's going to take us into the 7th of February. I mean, that could happen. That could happen. There's good potential that it could. And that'll take us to the price point of 0.00023. Another situation that we could see is that it comes down and kind of bounces along this line here, taking it to 0.00021. And that'll play out until February 11th. We could see it bouncing along this line here, February 13th-ish, something along those lines there. And then something along like that. Now, what do I think is most likely? I think that we will see. So either this scenario or this scenario, I think, is most likely until we see a reverse in sentiment with SHIB. That's what I would think is the most likely ones. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but if you were to set limit buys, I would set my limit buys on the way down to about this price point here, which is the 0.200002. And then kind of dollar cost average your way in there. If you were in a dollar cost averaging kind of mood, that's kind of what I would do with SHIB. I'm not an investor in SHIB. I don't have anything in SHIB, so I can't really tell you how to, do anything. But that's kind of what I would do if I was in it. I would kind of grab if I was long term with SHIB, then I would, dollar cost average my price points there. But SHIB is not a coin that I tell people to be long term in. It is not something I tell people to be long term in. So do your own research and invest in whatever the heck you want to invest in. Trend lines, curious. Let me get rid of this fib for a second. There's a couple different scenarios that can play out there. There's definitely a couple different scenarios. I mean, absolute worst case is that we're seeing a SHIB that could be going here before it really breaks out, which I don't know what to tell you. I don't know exactly what's happening, but we could end up seeing something like that when it comes to SHIB. So, but I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong, right? nobody ever knows where the money's going to move and how it's going to bounce. But I like this descending wedge that I just drew using the all-time high with this point here is really giving me a solid point right in here. So there could be some good price action before we swing up here. But there's a lot of support and resistance along these lines here too. Well, at least right here. Like right here is some good support and resistance lines, but we're testing that literally right now. So if we break below this point here, there is a good chance that we could fall down to these levels. I'm not saying that it is for sure happening, but there's a good chance that we fall down to those levels. So yeah. Thanks, Azriel. I'm just charting what I see. I don't see everything, so I'm not going to be 100% perfect. I appreciate it. That's crazy. I mean, if you're long term, then do what you got to do. But yeah. Uno Nice says, I'm enjoying the stream. Charts, knowledge, your talking points, commentary, everyone in the chat. We have a very cool group of folks here. I like this. We need a private group. I have a private group. It's in Telegram. Yeah. It's actually, I think, in the top line of the description of this video, it has the Telegram link to the stocks and crypto group. Yeah. Did I hear SHIB? Yes, I just charted SHIB. And I think that is a very likely situation that we drop down to that price point before we start to make a move. Yeah, I mean, the market is bouncing. It is bouncing. SHIB's not something I'm in, so I can't really tell you guys too much about it. I don't do a lot of research on SHIB. There are a lot of other people that do a lot more research on SHIB. And this is just one scenario that could possibly play out. There's a lot of other support and resistance lines that I'm seeing in there. So it could go a bunch of other ways, but just kind of how I feel, how it's going to move. You know, I think the markets are generally going to be consolidating into the end of this month, and then going into the first and second week of February is when we're going to see some change in sentiment. So, all right, what do you guys want from me? I'll chart one more thing if you guys ask me to. If not, we're done for the day. This has been a 2-hour stream, and I will get on with my day. Uno Nice, you're funny, man. Uno Nice, you're funny. But like what I'm saying with this, some of these parabolic moves did not give these cryptos a chance to really build support along the way. You know, the higher lows. And there's a lot of places or a lot of lines in here that there's nothing. There's no history. There's just the 1 or 2 points from it going up. And that could mean that we need to come back down to test certain levels than to build those higher lows, right? Like if I was to really open this up, let me delete some of this stuff here to really take a look. Let me delete some of this stuff here. If I was to really open this up and look at something like, let's see, from when it started. Yeah, see, I can't even do that because there's no other low points to base, you know, building those higher lows off of. We already broke down those points there. If someone was charting this with their wedges, it would have been irrelevant because we already broke below it. So there's no other points really of those low points, those building those price points of the higher lows. So that makes it more difficult to see. Like if I was to really go in here, I've drawn these lines, the support and resistance lines of here. So that's all we really have to go by from this crypto. And the crazy point of it all is so you guys can see the full picture, is there's actually one more. Where's my horizontal lines? You're going to have maybe one more right around there. So these are pretty significant breaks when we're breaking through like this line here, and we broke through this one. If we break through this one, like there's not very much more support after this. So it's very unlikely that we break through these, but I'm just saying there's no history of it creating those higher lows on the way to where it is now. And we are breaking back down all of the points that we've gotten to since these parabolic moves. So, yeah. All right, guys, if there's nothing else you want me to chart, I will be moving on to the rest of my day and ending the live stream at 2 hours. There's a lot of information in here. If you guys are just joining me, we started off by charting Bitcoin. We talked about the sentiment of Bitcoin. What is sentiment? We talked about, support and resistance lines when it comes to charting Bitcoin. We talked about the death cross. We talked about the moving averages, the RSI. We talked about, some of the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that we have in the market that is coming out now and that is going to be coming out throughout the end of the month. Things like what the SEC is saying. We talked about that at the beginning of the stream. We talked about interest rates going up potentially for the 26th of January and how that is going to be affecting the stock market and the crypto market, right? We've also talked about the stock to flow model and how some people think that it is the most accurate way to really gauge where Bitcoin is going. We've also talked about how Bitcoin halving affects the price of Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin halving? All that kind of good stuff was throughout the stream. This was a 2-hour stream, a lot of good information. Again, if you are looking for more information in regards to anything that was discussed in this live stream, leave a comment after the live stream is over, and I will make short little clips of what you guys are looking to find more knowledge on, and I'll try to the best of my ability to answer the questions that you guys have. It's hard to do everything in a live stream. It really is. So I enjoy doing these live streams because I'm doing them offline anyways. But if you guys are looking for any more information, I highly recommend joining the chat group that is in the top line of the description below. That's where I will be activating some alerts, some buy and sell signals for short-term plays when it comes to small market cap buys, as well as, kind of dollar cost averaging buys on some of the bigger plays. I'll also have some alerts that are going to be set up for stocks and some information in regards to options as well. This is just general knowledge that I am, learning myself and sharing with you guys, so that I hope that it helps you guys build or helps you guys get to the next level of your financial freedom, right? So I really do appreciate everyone for joining this live stream, and appreciate it for the super chat that Paper Plate gave at the beginning of the live stream. I hope that you guys find knowledge, you find some motivation to keep working towards the financial goals that you have, and you continue to take your financial life, portfolio, freedom to the next level. Until the next one, you guys stay humble and be patient and keep banking those gains. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Hey everybody, just before we get going, I wanted to say a huge thank you, much love and appreciation to everyone who supports what I do over here on Next Level Tech. Make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button and share these videos with a family member and friend.